Rarely does it occur that both critics and the normal viewer agree on a movie. At yahoomovies.com, both groups gave Watchmen a B-. Now there's a clear difference between the normal critic and the normal viewer. For one, the normal viewer is going there to kill some time and to enjoy a movie and enjoy his time away from the real world. A critic never really leaves the real world because he's being completely aware of what's going on in the movie and then criticizing it at the same time. Now, on average, a movie gets a better score from the normal viewer and a harsher score from the critic. For example, a movie that recently came out called Fired Up, the critic, on average, gave it a C-. The average viewer gave it a B+. Now, this is a popcorn movie. This is a high school movie. This is a movie about two guys who pretend to be cheerleaders and go to a cheerleading camp with a bunch of hot underage girls, which probably aren't underage in real life, as the two guys are not underage, but still, C-, B+. And this is on average for most movies. This is the reason why the normal viewer didn't grade this movie as high as he normally would have comparable to the other movies compared to the critics. Most viewers didn't expect this kind of movie. Most viewers came to the movie thinking they'd watch a superhero movie in which a bunch of good guys fight a bunch of bad guys. I believe when it comes to superhero movies, people want to go to the movies as if they're going to a sporting event where they know that they're going to be supporting one of the good guys against the bad guys, or at least a group of good guys against the bad guys. That's the reason why G.I. Joe is going to be such a big hit. That's the reason why Transformers is going to be a big hit. That's the reason why Wolverine's going to be a big hit, because you walk in there and you're like, go Wolverine, kick some bad guy butt. Or go Optimus Prime, kick some Decepticon butt. And Bumblebee too. And G.I. Joe, I mean, you have to root for the G.I. Joe. You have to. It's the only American thing to do. But this movie doesn't give that. It doesn't have a bunch of superheroes that are, good, and you know they're good. And I don't think most people can deal with that ambiguity. Another reason why I think the normal viewer has given this movie such a low score is because they're not cerebral enough to understand it. Underlying all the action going on in the movie, it's a very philosophical movie. It's a very deep movie. It attacks the human spirit. It attacks human flaws. It's trying to send a message. And I think most people don't like messages like that, especially when they're going to a superhero movie and expecting a lot of action. And it does have a lot of action, but it's not an action movie. I think it got a low score because people were expecting something different. They weren't open-minded to it, and they weren't smart enough to understand it. Maybe I'm being offensive, but that's what I believe. And to be completely honest, I think this movie was absolutely beautiful. With all the gore that was in it, with all the action that was in it, normally I would say maybe that's a little too excessive, but it was beautifully done. This is a work of art. I give it an A. This is the best superhero movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not saying this because it's the most fun movie to watch. But when it comes to real characters and real people, I believe it represents itself well.
His name is J.D. He wanted to be a sniper.